Chapter 4, Manufacturing Entities, 4.1 Introduction. In grade 10, we learned about the different types of costs in relation to manufacturing. In this chapter of grade 12, we will discuss the preparation of a production cost statement and the trading account as part of the statement of comprehensive income of a manufacturing entity. It is very important to look again carefully at Chapter 11 of your grade 11 workbook to refresh your memory in respect of certain concepts and cost aspects regarding manufacturing organizations. The following is a short summary. For manufacturing entities, they must be distinguished between 5 cost accounts: your direct material cost, direct labor cost, factory overheads, administrative cost, and sales and distribution cost. It is important to note that all operating expenses will be proportionally closed to these 5 cost accounts. It will therefore be important to determine which portion of each operating expense was spent on each cost item for it to be closed to that specific cost account. Of the 5 cost accounts, 3 form part of the production cost: your direct material cost, your direct labor cost, and your factory overheads. Of the 5 cost accounts, 2 are fixed costs and 3 are variable costs. When the break-even point must be calculated, it is important to distinguish between fixed and variable costs. The following table clearly distinguishes it. Fixed cost is your factory overhead cost and your administrative cost. Variable cost will be direct material cost, direct labor cost, sales and distribution cost. Products are manufactured rather than being purchased as products that are ready to be sold. When financial statements are compiled, products can be in different stages of completion, and thus for manufacturing entities, it is important to distinguish between 3 inventory accounts: raw materials inventory, work in progress inventory or half-completed inventory, and finished goods inventory. 4.2 Production Cost Statement. A production cost statement shows the cost price of finished goods manufactured during the year in an easily legible format. These costs consist of direct costs, which is your direct material costs plus your direct labor cost incurred during the year. Your factory overheads incurred during the year are then added. If there was a work in progress inventory at the beginning of the year, the balance must be added since production costs have already been incurred in the previous year on finished goods that have only been completed in the current year. If there's work in progress inventory at the end of the year, the balance must be deducted since production costs have already been incurred in the current year on finished goods that will only be completed in the following year. So this is what your format will look like. We're going to start with direct costs, which is your direct material cost and your direct labor cost, which we add together. Then we're going to calculate the factory overheads. So our production costs during the year will then be notes 1, 2, and 3 added together. Plus work in progress inventory at the beginning of the year we'll add. That gives us our total production costs. And then we'll minus our work in progress inventory at the end of the year to give our cost of production of finished goods. We will have 3 notes to the production cost statement. Note number 1 will be your direct material cost. We're going to start with our opening stock of raw material inventory. Then we add net purchases, that means purchases minus returns. We'll add any delivery fees on our purchases, and we'll add any custom duties. We will then also minus our closing stock of our raw material inventory. 2 direct labor costs, wages of factory workers who make the products, our pension fund contributions, and any medical aid contributions. 3 factory overheads. We'll start with our consumables. We'll take our opening stock of our consumables plus our purchases minus our closing stock times whatever portion goes to the factory overheads. Our salary of our factory foreman will be added, depreciation on factory equipment, wages of cleaners, rental of the factory, and any insurance on factory equipment. 4.3 Trading Statement. The trading statement of a manufacturing entity looks very similar to the trading statement of a business that uses the periodic inventory system. Remember that the purpose of the trading statement is merely to calculate the gross profit for the accounting period. This is the top portion of the statement of comprehensive income or income statement. In other words, it is your revenue less the cost of sales. We know the revenue amount, but the cost of the finished products sold must then still be calculated. So the trading statement of Joe Manufacturers, we'll start with our revenue. It's always our net revenue, which is sales minus debtors allowances. And then we have to minus our cost of sales, which is the calculation that we already know. It's our opening stock of our finished goods, plus our production costs of finished goods, plus our finished goods available to be sold. Well, that will give us our finished goods available to be sold. And then we minus our closing stock of finished goods to give you your gross profit for the year. If the complete statement of comprehensive income or income statement must be compiled, the administrative costs and the sales and distribution costs must also be deducted to determine the net profit. Statement of comprehensive income. So we're going to start with our revenue, which is sales minus debtors allowances. Then we're going to have our cost of sales, which we subtract, which is our opening stock of finished goods, plus our production cost of finished goods. This gives our finished goods available to be sold. Then we minus our closing stock of finished goods to give you your gross profit for the year. We then subtract the administrative costs and we subtract the sales and distribution costs to give you the net profit for the year. 4.4 break-even point. It is important to calculate how many products must be manufactured and sold to be able to cover all fixed costs. Remember that there are certain fixed costs that must be paid every month, regardless of whether the business manufactures products or not. This number of products that must be manufactured to enable the entity to break even is called the break-even sales figure or the break-even point, and it is calculated using the following formula. Our break-even point will be our fixed costs divided by our selling price per unit minus our variable cost per unit to give you the number of units you need to produce in order to cover all your costs. Fixed costs will be your factory overhead costs plus your admin costs. Your variable costs per unit will be your direct material costs plus direct labor costs plus sales and distribution costs divided by the number of units manufactured. And your sales price per unit will be your net sales divided by the number of units sold. Exercise 4.1. You are provided with incomplete information relating to Ntando Manufacturers. There was no half-completed inventory at the beginning of the year or the end of the financial year that ends on 30 June 2025. During the year, 20,000 units were manufactured and sold. Required. 4.1.1. Complete the missing information in the production cost statement and the cost per unit. Then 4.1.2, we have to complete the missing information in the statement of comprehensive income. And 4.1.3, we have to calculate the break-even point for the year ending 30 June 2025. Production cost statement of Ntando Manufacturers for the year ending 30 June 2025. So if we go to the primary cost, which is your direct cost, will be your direct material cost plus your direct labor. If our primary cost is 25 Rand and our direct labor cost is 15 Rand, our direct material cost will be the difference. So what is 25 Rand minus 15 Rand? It will give us 10 Rand. Factory overhead costs. We are going to start first with our primary costs. So we know our primary cost is 25 Rand. 20,000 units was produced. So 25 Rand times 20,000 units will give you 500,000 Rand. Then the same for our direct material cost. 20,000 units at 10 Rand will give me 200,000 Rand. And our direct labor cost, 20,000 units at 15 Rand per unit, gives me 300,000 Rand. So our primary cost is the 200 plus the 300,000, which is then 500,000. Our factory overheads is 400,000. So our production cost during the year will be 500,000 plus 400,000, which is 900,000. So our total production cost is 900,000. Our cost of finished goods is 900,000. Our factory overheads, 400,000 divided by 20,000 units will be 20 Rand per unit. Then our total production cost during the year is 25 plus 20, which is 45 Rand per unit. So total production cost per unit is 45. And your cost of production of finished goods is 45 Rand. 4.1.2, complete the missing information in the statement of comprehensive income. So if we go to the per unit column, our revenue is 72 Rand minus our cost of sales of 45 Rand per unit will give you 27 Rand per unit. Our sales and distribution cost is 5 Rand, our administrative cost is 8 Rand, so our net profit will then be 18 Rand per unit. 27 minus 9 is 18 Rand. 20,000 units was produced and sold, so 5 Rand times 20,000 units will give me 100,000. We do the same for our gross profit per unit, so 27 Rand times 20,000 units gives me 540,000 Rand in brackets. Then we work backwards to calculate the cost of sales, and that will give us 900,000 in brackets. And then again we work backwards. 900,000 plus 540,000 will give us a revenue of 1,440,000 Rand. 4.1.3, calculate the break-even point for the year ending 30 June 2025. Firstly, we need to familiarize ourselves with the formula again. So remember, our break-even point is our fixed cost divided by the selling price per unit minus the variable cost per unit. Now, fixed cost is made up of our factory overheads and our admin costs, and our selling price per unit we'll calculate, and our variable cost per unit will be our direct material cost, direct labor cost, and sale and distribution costs. So if we do the calculations, our factory overheads was 400,000 Rand, our admin cost was 80,000, our selling price per unit is 72 Rand, and our variable cost per unit, our direct materials is 10 Rand, our direct labor is 15 Rand per unit, and our sales and distribution is 5 Rand per unit. So then it's 480,000 divided by 42 Rand to give you 11,429 units.